Welcome everyone. My name is Jason. I'm the product training manager here at Console. As you might notice from my background, I'm not working in the office today for this session, which is where I usually am for these sessions. I'm in Brisbane, so I'll be working at home and doing this live from my room at home. Now today, super excited, is the first of our 3 series of unveiling sessions that we're coming to you live from this week and for the next couple of weeks. So as you might have seen from our social posts, we've been posting little hints there, and we've been asking you to guess which one of the draws or doors, I think was on our social posts, that we'll be revealing first. So what I'd like to do before we jump in is, if you have any questions or comments, please pop them down below. You'll see just below this video. So please pop them in there. Either my colleagues will answer them during the session, or I'll stay on for a little bit longer after the session. So to answer any of those burning questions, and hopefully we'll prompt some questions throughout the session. Don't also forget another thing, please jump on our Facebook, Console AU, and also our YouTube channel, and don't forget to like and subscribe to both of them. All right. All right, so I'm not going to make you wait any longer. I'm going to get straight in. So the most voted number from our socials, and that's our Console Insiders page, which a lot of you are on that one as well. Also our Console public page, and a few other little channels that we've published this on. So the most number that everyone chose is what I'll be revealing in this next little clip that I'll show you in a second. And it's also probably the one I'm most excited about to show you today. It's one of the ones, you'll know what I mean, that customers have been asking for a long time. So it's a super exciting one to have this finally here and released to everyone. All right, let's go ahead. I would do a little drum roll, but I don't have any of those cool tools like I would in the office. So I'm going to jump in with a little video and reveal it. So I'll reveal the video. I'll reveal what drawer or door we're going to open, and then we'll sort of jump into a little bit more detail and talk about it a little bit further. Right, so you saw from the video a little animation. It is in fact drawer number 3 or door number 3 as well, and it is inbound SMS. And again, it is probably one of the most one of the things that I'm really excited about to show you, and also to have available to our customers. So let's jump in. So before I jump in to a little bit more of a deep dive, what I'd like to show you first is a little preview of what it will look like. And this is another little video that I'm going to play for you. And then what I'll do is I'll jump in, we'll run through some of the details, and then I'll actually jump into cloud and walk you through and show you some of those things as well. All right, here it is. Awesome. Well, that video will be also available online. We'll publish them up after this session as well. So please feel free to share this video and also the other one with your team members. All right, let's take a little look now. We're going to go through some of the details and the particulars about inbound SMS and some of the things that you need to know to get started, obviously, and what it actually means for you in Console Cloud. I'm just going to share a little screen here. Perfect. All right, so inbound, put really simply, inbound SMS is designed to really close that communication loop with your tenants and your owners. So it can be used to can be used for tenants and owners in this situation. And it's by allowing them to reply to SMSs so that you can view and reply directly within Console Cloud. So it really is that last little piece of the puzzle with your SMS communications in cloud. What is inbound SMS? And it might seem pretty straightforward, but let me just explain it here while we go before we jump in there and actually look at it. So, put simply, once again, inbound SMS allows your contacts to reply to SMS communications sent directly from Console Cloud. And these messages will appear directly and instantly back in Console Cloud in your communications area. So you'll be used to using that communications area up in the top right-hand corner with all your email and your SMS communications. And now, obviously, once you activate your inbound, that's when your messages will appear in there as well. So it's all direct back within Console Cloud. So inbound SMS is available to clients on the premium plan. At this stage, it's for customers just in Australia. New Zealand users, it's currently not available yet, so we'll hang tight for that. And then you must also have the Console SMS activated. So that just means that you must have SMS, which most offices do have SMS activated already. For those that are not sure what the premium plan is that I'm referring to, so it is a new subscription plan that we've created, and it's charged based on the PUM size of your office rather than a range of PUM sizes in your office. So it is obviously more cost effective for you, and it also does include all these key features, all these key agency features and PM tools, such as our inbound and the other two things that we're announcing next week onwards. As standard. So it'll be an all-inclusive. And of course, there's no extra cost to use our inbound SMSs. It is included in that premium package. And obviously, there's no cost to you receiving SMSs. Setting up, which I won't show you today, but setting up is quite simple. So it's a set and forget sort of process. So basically, setting up inbound SMS, all that requires is once you've activated your premium subscription, you can then go into your marketplace, click on the SMS tile, and then follow the prompts under the inbound SMS section. Important to note also, your office will be assigned a mobile phone number. So that is an actual mobile phone number that gets assigned for that office, and you'll keep that number forever from that point onwards. So just be aware, if you are activating this, it will actually activate that phone number, and your SMSs will come to your tenants and your owners from a phone number instead of that previous name of your office, which we had before. And this is because, really, just for a little bit of explanation, this is because in Australia, to be able to reply to SMSs, that must actually be a phone number. So it's not actually possible to reply to a text message. And you would see that from other providers that you've probably replied to yourself as well. So just really, really important to know. It may be something you communicate to your tenants and owners that they now can reply to your SMSs. And of course, we've seen some offices that have been using this already remove the do not reply in their SMS messages as well. So that way it's sort of encouraged that the tenant does reply. And if they do reply, then obviously it's going to be received. The next thing I wanted to talk about first, and I'll actually jump into cloud after this and show you, was of course the new communications drawer and the view changes in your communications views, and it's specifically relating to SMS. So you may have already seen this. It's currently in there now. If you haven't seen it, jump into your communications area and have a look. So your messages will now appear in a conversation view, and that'll give you the ability to see a full history of that conversation, just like you would, say, for example, on your in an SMS on a phone. When a new message is received, a symbol will appear on your comms or communications icon up in the top right-hand corner of cloud. And then when you go to your communications area in cloud, that message will display in bold, just like a new message in most other systems, and of course on your phone as well. Important to point out some of the colouring that we've put in place for the different types of SMSs. So there's 3 different colours at this stage for in the communications drawer for the different colours. So blue being the first one, that's sent by the system by a user. So that would be me as the property manager sending that out and manually triggering that message. So it could be me sending that out saying, hey, just a reminder to do ABC. The grey ones that pop up in this little drawer, so you can see I've only got pictures of the blue and the white ones in here in this image. You'll see the grey ones throughout when I jump into Cloud as well. So the grey ones are all system messages. So that's things that a Cloud has sent out without intervention by yourself or anyone else in your office. And then, of course, last, we have our white messages that pop up, as you can see from the diagram. So that will be any of those SMS replies that come back. So you'll really see that difference in who sent what and what messages sent. And your agency, staff within your agency, do have the ability to look at that as well. So they'll get that view and that conversation history, which I think is really important as well. All right, so we're going to actually jump over into Console Cloud now. We'll have a look at what the inbound SMS looks like in an office. So I've got one that I've set up earlier, and this will be what it will look like for you. So let's take a look. Okay, so you can see I'm in my dashboard at the moment. First, let's have a look. Let's talk about types of messages. So there's a couple of different messages that you can send, a couple of different ways, I should say, that you can send out of Console Cloud. And the first one are messages that are sent. So we're talking about non-system generated messages. So that's just a given. They go out as normal, as they always have. And messages that we can send out, just a little reminder for those. So I'm going to use the property page as an example and sending a message to one of my tenants. Just to remind them to send back their new lease. So I'm going to use this message option here. So again, you've got the option to message owners and tenants. I'm going to use tenants. And then, of course, I'll select my SMS. You can use blank templates. You can create 100 million templates if you want, all specific to your office. There is some preset templates which you've already been used to. I'm going to say, let's say lease renewal. Remind them to submit their lease renewal as soon as possible. So you can see here what I've done. I'm just going to send this message as per normal. So that's a general message that you've triggered from Console Cloud. There's also now the ability to, you just heard that little noise, I've actually received that text. So it is quite instant as well. Now let's have a look at the actual message in the comms area. So this is sending a message directly from within the communications area. So again, it's having that ability to close a loop in the communications via text. So back in my dashboard, I'm going to click on the communications icon in the top right. Important to note some new little filters that have popped up in here as well. So there's one received. This is about SMSs. So that's anything that's been received. And also an SMS filter as well, obviously to filter through some of those things. You can see here the most frequent one. So it is sorted, as you've probably already noticed, it is sorted in order of date and time. So that will appear in that order. So if I click on that, what I can see now, my latest message down here, the one I just sent, which was in blue, remember those colors as well. So that's one that I've manually generated from the system. And then of course your gray ones, which I probably don't have any in this tenant. I've probably got some white and blue, which is an active conversation. The other one that I was talking about is also the ability to directly send from within here. So this is really important to note as well. So it will be, let's make up a little message. And to ask to pay, let's say it's paying bond, pay your bond. I've purposely left my phone on the little ding so that you will hear those messages coming through and how quick it is. So you can hear that's just popped through. So now I've got two messages sitting on my phone waiting for me. So I'm going to look on my phone, and I'm not sharing my phone at this stage. I couldn't share it on this screen, unfortunately. So in my phone, so I do have a couple of messages sitting there waiting for me. So I'm going to actually reply to them as well. So I'm going to say, no problems as the tenant. You can see here I've got my little phone out. No problems. I'll email them through. And again, I'm going to put a little smiley face. Perfect. So that's been sent. If you didn't hear that little send noise in there as well. So what we're going to see in Console Cloud is, I'll just refresh the screen so we can see it straight away. You would have seen that one pop up instantly. As soon as it recognizes there's a number, there's a message, that one will pop up. Now what we're seeing is the Console Cloud screen back in our communication. So again, I'll just point out while it's loading the one just on the little envelope up the top there. And again, if you had more than one messages, so that number will change depending on the messages. So now you can see there's my message there in bulk. You see the little, I think it was a smiley face with sunglasses that I've put in there as well. So if I click on that, that'll obviously show that back in that drawer where we were before. Awesome, so I can see it in there again. And then, so you can see really how quick that is as well. That wasn't the message because I didn't send, that was a different message altogether. So my apologies. Now I'm getting a lot of messages from other people. So that will be the little message. And again, I could reply to that as well, saying thank you or something like that. So it is a great little tool to do it directly from here. All right, what else do I need to show you? So we've looked at the bold. There's one little thing that I'd also like to show you before we sort of close off here. And again, if you're online, don't forget to pop your questions down in the comments. And I'll try to stay on for a little bit longer after the session and just reply to those comments and answer any of them that I can and get back to you about. So one little thing in here is about tracking those communication messages in a format where it might help for future things. So for example, if you do need to go back and see that, view that message history apart from being in here. So you can see here, I've got all my messages in that order here. So I'm going to pop over now to my contacts. Here's a screen that I've prepared earlier, and I'm going to use one of my owners for this example. So if I click on that owner, what I'm going to see is obviously this little drawer pop up. So I'm going to click on her profile. And then if I click on the communications option, what this is going to tell me is a bit of a timestamp or what do you call it, a history of what's been received and of course what's been sent out. So it's really that timeline of events that will really help you keep track of what's happened. So, and obviously you can come back here at any time. I can export, as you can see down the bottom, there's a little export button. So this really comes in handy for your proof of ingoing and outgoing. So that's in the contacts, and then obviously under the communications tab in there as well. Perfect. So that's really it for the new inbound SMS. So that's really all I'm going to show you today. As I said, if you have any questions, pop them in the comments down below. So again, that will be available now, and that'll be available to customers within Australia and of course on the new premium plan. So don't forget to jump online, and we'll send some more information about that out after as well. Also, don't forget to keep an eye out in Console Clouds. We'll advertise when our next unveilings will be. So that will be obviously next week and the following week. And there's two other really exciting features that will come out with them as well. So I'm looking forward to jumping online and showing you those as well. Don't forget also, we'll do some posts. So just don't forget to vote for which drawer you'd like open next, or door. And we'll choose that one. Thanks again for joining. I'll stick around for a little bit longer to answer any questions because I know that's probably prompted some questions from our customers. So please do pop them in the comments, and I'll continue to sort of read those for the next little while as well. And if not, I'll see you next time. Have a great one.